Welcome friends. Today I would be discussing task 2 of the May-June pre-release material for IGCSE Computer Science. Now those who haven't seen task 1, it's advisable that they refer to that video where I have discussed task 1 pseudocode before having a look at this video. Now, if you remember in task 1, the question was all about displaying the ticketing details. Now the display is on your screen. Once you write the programming code, this is how your screen would appear for a 1-day booking, and below that for a 2-day booking with extra attractions. Now the entire pseudocode has been explained in my earlier video, so you can have a look at that. Now moving to task 2, the question mentions that extend your program for task number 1 to input the tickets and extra attractions required, then calculate the total cost of the booking, allocate a unique booking number, display the booking details, including the total cost and the unique booking number, and the last point is repeat as required. That means after the booking of one person is done, then another customer can book as many tickets as is required and the process will continue. Okay, I've used a few variables here. Some of the variables would be used as a part of task 2. Others will be forming a part of task 3. But since the entire program is a single unit, those variables have been declared here. But if in your examination, the question asks you just about task 2, so you are free to ignore the variables of task 3. Okay. Now the first thing here is new booking is equal to y. Now this variable is declared for the last bullet point of task 2 where they're asking repeat as required. So till he says, yes, new booking is y, till the input is a y, till the value of new booking is a y, the program will continue. So we'll come back to this at a later stage. Another variable is booking reference. The initial value is 0. So each time a new booking is done, the value increases by 1. So to begin with, the booking reference here would start with 0 plus 1. The booking reference would be 1. Then you'll get a message, start your booking. And then it asks you to enter the date of visit in a particular format. Now the date of visit, I have taken in a variable my_date. As soon as somebody inputs a date of visit, it needs to be validated, because in the question they have mentioned date of visit can be only up to 7 days in advance. So if I am entering a date which is over the 7-day time, then such a date is invalid. Also, obviously, you cannot book a date of visit before the current date or less than the current date. So the first condition will take care of that. Now this function I'm again repeating. I have explained this in task 1. I understand that pseudocodes do not have any functions, but every programming language you do will have a date function. And some programming languages, it will be called as date. In other languages, it will be called as now. But every programming language will have a date function to display the current date. So here I'm assuming that this function displays the current date. So if your my_date, that is the date that you have input, is less than the current date, you'll get this message and you will be asked to re-enter. If your date that you have input is over the 7 days time period, then you get another message that you can't book above 7 days. So that's another kind of a validation check, and you will be asked to re-enter the date. So for re-entering, it's a repeat until loop, and this repeat until loop will keep on working till you enter a valid date. Now, a valid date would be any date between the current date and the 7-day time period from the current date. Now, some might think that why have I written +6 and why not a +7? Because I'm also including today's date in my counting. So if I include today's date, then it's a +6. So that's why I've taken a plus 6 there. So hopefully the date part is clear. I'll move ahead to the next slide. Now, if you look here, this is how your output would appear. Once only that much part of the program is run, I've already done the work in Python and I've taken a screenshot of the output. This is how your output would look like. That will get a message, start your booking, and as soon as you enter a date, assume today to be 30th of Jan, and say I've entered a date 29th of Jan. So I'll get a message, date of visit cannot be before current date. It will ask me to re-enter. Then I re-enter. Say I enter over 7 days, like 6th of February, and today is 30th of Jan. So again, you can't book over 7 days, so only up to 7 days is allowed. And then I enter a valid date, and then your program will proceed ahead. So it has done that validation check. Now we move ahead. Now the second part was, the program was asking you to enter the number of days for your visit. Like, do you want to visit the park for 1 day or 2 days? So I've given a message output, enter 1 or 2 for 1 day or 2 day ticket options. And you have taken the input from the user in the variable visit length. Now, if your visit length is not equal to 1 or it is not equal to 2, then you get a message invalid duration, because visit length can either be 1 day or 2 days. One more thing, I have taken this as a not equal to. Even if you take this particular variable, sorry, this particular operator for not equal to, or this operator, that is also counted as valid in as far as pseudocode is concerned. Okay, so if your visit length is neither 1 nor it is 2, then you get an error message and you have to re-enter. So again, that repeat until loop will take care of re-entering till you enter a valid visit length for this particular code. After that, visit length is done, then it will ask you how many people want to visit the park. Now say I enter a certain number of people, say I enter 4 people want to enter. Now out of that 4, it is asking me enter number of adults. So it will accept the adult value from me. Again, here you can do a validation check for adults. Like, I can't say I have a -4 number of adults entering the park. So adult count cannot be less than 0. If you enter a value less than 0, that's an error. Same way, your adult count cannot be greater than total people. Like if I say total people entering the park is 5 and adults are 25. Now that's an invalid data. So number of adults cannot be greater than total number of people. Again, you will be asked to re-enter, and the process continues till you enter a valid data. Again, repeat until loop will take care of that part. So the valid entry here would be that adults either will be 0 or a positive value, and the total count of adults should be less than or equal to the total number of people. I could have done the same validation check even for total people. I could have checked that the value is positive, but then the total people count was not a part of the pre-release. So hence I avoided just increasing the code. Okay, so after this part is done, we move ahead and we come to the next part, where after entering the details for adults, I am entering about children. Now, as far as the children are concerned, you will be allowed to enter the data for children only when there are adults accompanying the child. That means if I say there are 0 adults, then this option will not be asked. That means you will not get that option of entering number of children, because number of adults are 0. Because the program says that for every child there needs to be an adult, and at the most an adult can be accompanied with 2 kids. So if there are no adults, no children are allowed. So For children, there needs to be greater than 0 adults. And there is one more condition. If there are no adults, but it's a family, so family will be a group of 5, then there could be children. They are allowed to come without adults because seniors will be there. So in that case, this will be allowed. Now, once we enter here, this part is the same, just like adults. I enter number of children. If I input and my input is less than 0, then it's an invalid entry. So it will give me an error. Another condition is that for every adult, there needs to be a maximum of 2 children. That means the child cannot be more than twice the number of adults. Like one adult can have 2 kids accompanying. 2 adults will have 4 kids. 3 adults will have 6 kids maximum. 4 will have 8 and so on. So the child count cannot be greater than twice the adult count. So that's a condition you need to check. And total people needs to be less than 5. If it is less than 5, not needs to be. If it is less than 5, then maximum you'll get an error. Maximum 2 children are allowed, except in a family. So that's the condition which they have asked us in the pre-release. Once the child count is clear, that means once you input a child which is 0 or greater than 0, and the second condition is children should be less than twice the adults. The program will proceed ahead, and you go to the last part of your input, which is asking about the number of seniors. Now, obviously, the same thing got repeated, that senior count cannot be negative. If you have entered a negative value, it will give an error, and the repeat until loop will take care that either your senior count is 0 or it is a positive value. So the validation check of all the 3 inputs are taken care of here. Now the next part is about extra attractions. Now the question says there are some extra attractions also available, but that's optional. If you wish, you may go for that extra attractions, or you may say a no. So here is the question in output. Do you want extra attractions? If I say a Y, then it will proceed ahead. If I say a no, still it will proceed ahead, but then I will not get those options for extra attractions. And if I'm entering a value, anything other than a Y or an N, I will get an error message. So again, a validation check is performed even for extra attractions. Now let's move ahead. Now this is the screen, the output screen, which I have run in Python. And here it's only the screenshot that's available. I've entered a date, say 6th of February. Assume it's a valid date. And say I want a ticket for 1 day entry. And there are, say, total number of people are 3, out of which 2 are adults and 1 is a child. There are 0 seniors. So my input is taken care of. Do you want extra attractions? I might either say a Y or I might say a N. We'll see what happens when we say a Y. Do we get some more options there? We'll see that in the remaining slides. Now, if I say in extra attractions, if I say a Y and my visit length is 1 day, that means I want to visit the park for only 1 day. Then there are 2 extra attractions available for me. One is the lion feeding and second is the penguin feeding. So I get an output statement. How many lion feeding tickets require? You input. Another output statement. How many penguin tickets required? You input. If you don't want to visit, just say 0 for any of these options. Now, if the extra is a Y and the visit length is 2, that means I want for 2 days. Then I get a third option as well. Enter number of barbecue tickets. So that's why the differentiation, 1 day length has 2 options and a 2 day length has 3 options. Once this part is taken care of, now the all the input that was required to calculate the cost of the ticket is done. So this is the calculation part. If visit length is 1, then your number of adult tickets multiplied by 20, because each adult ticket is of $20, plus child into 12, plus seniors into 16. For total attractions, number of lion tickets into 2.5, penguin tickets is 2 per person. And when you add both of them, I'll get the total cost of the ticket. If your visit length is of 2 days, the rates are slightly different. For adults, it's 30, child is 18, and senior is 24. Attractions, the rates are the same, 2.5 for each lion feeding ticket, 2 for each penguin, but we have a BBQ here, which is for 5 per ticket. Again, you get total as total normal plus total attractions, and I'm ready with my ticket cost. Finally, the last part is to display the results. So it will display the booking ID. If you remember, in one of the earlier slides, I had explained that booking ID for the first time will be 1. So it will display book reference as 1, and total amount it would have calculated from one of these two options, and it will display that. And lastly, it is asking me, do you want to book another ticket? Like, do you want to go for another booking? So if I say a yes, my entire program will restart, where it will again ask me for the current date and then total number, the visit length, total number of people, the number of adults, seniors, children, and this whole thing gets repeated. And if I say a no, the output message program terminated will get displayed. Finally, let's see the output after you have run that program. Now say, I want 2 adult tickets, 1 child ticket, and 0 senior tickets. And say for extra attractions, I say a yes, why? And I want a 1 lion feeding ticket and a 2 penguin feeding ticket. Now let's see the calculation. My answer has come as 58.5. My unique booking ID shown as 1. Now 58.5 will be something like this. It's a 1-day visit. So in that case, there are 2 adults, so 2 into 20. There is 1 child, so child is worth 12. Extra attractions, lion is 2.5 per ticket. Penguin is 2 per ticket. So if you do this calculation, you'll get 2 into 20 is 40. And this is 12. 1 into 12 is 12. 2.5 into 1 is 2.5, and 2 into 2 is 4. So 40 plus 12, 52. 52 plus 2.5, 54.5 plus 4 is 58.5. And that's exactly what we have got here. So that's one example. Another example is another output, where say number of adult tickets are 1, child tickets are 1, and assume it's a 2-day booking that I'm doing. So hence I've got this extra option for a 2-day booking, enter number of BBQ tickets. Now this option was not there in the earlier output because that was a 1-day ticket. Now where is that option for 1-day booking and 2-day booking? It has gone up. The screenshot is just concentrating on the input part of the tickets. Okay, now let's see here. My output is coming as 62.5, and see the unique booking reference number is 2. Now 62.5, I have got like 1 into 30 rupees because it's a 2-day booking. So remember, 2-day booking is slightly costlier. So it's a 30 rupees here, and kids it's 18. Seniors are 0, so it will stay as a 0. I want extra attractions. Extra attractions rates are the same, so 2.5 here, 2 here, and BBQ is 5 per ticket. So the final is 1 into 30 is 30 rupees. 1 into 18 is 18. Finally, 2.5 into 1 is 2.5. 1 into 2 is 2, and 5 into 2 is 10. So when we add this 30 plus 18 is 48 plus 2.5, 50.5, 52.5, and plus 10 is 62.5. And that's exactly what I have got here. So we have seen these two different examples just to make you understand like how your program will work, how the pseudocode will pan out. So this is what your program would look like. So thank you for watching, and very soon I'll be coming up with task 3. I do understand that some of you might have questions that the examples here, the output is not showing if there are more than 5 number of people visiting the park. Yes, those examples will also come, and it will come in task 3, where I'll be explaining you that how a better option, whether a family ticket is a better option, or whether a group ticket is a better option, or whether individual tickets are better options, how that thing is getting calculated. So more such examples will come in task 3. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye-bye.